Welcome back to another week of Power Rankings. My name is Hunter, and today we're going to get into how the NFL is shaping two-thirds of the way through the season. We've learned so much about where these teams stand in the playoff picture, and there was a lot of big and close games in week 12, so it's time to break them down. Like and subscribe, so much content coming every single week. I'm going to try to get one video out to you guys on Thursday for Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving type theme video, so be on the lookout for that. Number 32, I have the Tennessee Titans. Just once again, was out of the game too early. The offense just couldn't get going until it didn't really matter. And they had a chance at the end, but they did blow it. And Tennessee loses their 10th game of the season. And it's time to start asking questions about what's the next direction of this Titans franchise and what they're going to go after with what is currently the first overall selection in the 2026 NFL Draft. Number 31, I have the Vegas Raiders, who they've just found new ways to lose every single week. Geno Smith has not been good for a majority, almost all of the season, as well as they're not getting Ashton Jeanty the ball enough. They're just not good offensively, and it showed because they fired Chip Kelly. Just this team is out of it, of course, and they're going to need to make some offensive changes down the stretch to at least gain some momentum for 2026. Number 30, I have the Jets. Decent first half versus the Ravens. Tyrod Taylor did not look that bad compared to what we've been seeing from Justin Fields. But in the second half, they just couldn't get the stops that they needed, and the offense just couldn't get going. And the Jets get their ninth loss of the season. So, what another team that it's like, what's next for them? Because it fully seems like this team should go quarterback, but you'll never know what the state of the 2026 class. Number 29 at the Giants, unbelievably losing yet again after holding a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, just finding new ways to choke every week. They fired Shane Bowen. They're heading in a new direction. And the Giants, really, before this bye week, they have the Patriots on Monday Night Football. Hopefully, they can get Jackson Dart back. He needs to get reps in these final 5 games just to get firepower for next season. And New York, obviously, eliminated from the playoffs already, so not much to play for. Number 28, I have the Saints, another team that just lost a divisional game to the Falcons and fully confirms that they're likely done this season. Just offensively, they've been inefficient the entire year. Another team that I would expect to go quarterback in this next draft. Number 27, I had the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur looked pretty good, minus that one interception in his debut. Seemed to ignite something in this Browns team that we had not seen the entire season. Just the swag that Shedeur has brought to the Browns showed in that game against the Raiders. Just a great game all around from the Browns. And with the state of the AFC North, they're not completely done yet. They're going to have to win their final 6 games and win out. But obviously, Shedeur is bringing something to this team. Number 26, I have the Bengals. And they just fall short against the New England Patriots. Flacco threw a bad pick six. The defense played its best game of the season, and it came at a good time, but the offense just didn't have the firepower that it had over that few week stretch with Flacco. They had a few injuries. They were missing Jamar Chase. They're going to get Burrow and Chase back for Thursday against the Ravens in a game that ultimately they have to win out the rest of the season if they want any chance at the playoffs, and it starts with Thursday against Baltimore. Number 25, I have the Washington Commanders, who were on bye this week, so not much to say about them. It seems like Jaden Daniels is out this week, but will be coming back by week 15, so that's good news for them. And obviously, it's just about gaining some momentum for next season. Number 24, I have the Cardinals, who were already knocked out of NFC West title contention, and another close loss to the Jaguars this time, where Brissett and Michael Wilson just continue to be a lethal duo. Lots of people, including me, have picked up Michael Wilson in fantasy and has seen the progress that he has had. He's been my MVP the last 2 weeks in one of my leagues. But this team is not bad. They're better than their 3-8 record, and it shows they keep playing closer games and they keep putting up offense. It's just they can't close it down or play good enough defense when it matters. Number 23, I have the Vikings. It's time to talk about J.J. McCarthy. He could not get anything going against the Packers. 2 interceptions, a 34 quarterback rating, not even 100 yards. really just got owned by that Packers defense. He got sacked 5 times. Minnesota, it's almost time for them to make a decision. And it seemed like they were going to go with Carson Wentz for a majority of the season because they knew that JJ McCarthy was not ready. And this is what you're seeing, a quarterback who's not ready for NFL play. And Minnesota's season has seemingly gone down the drain because of it. Number 22 are the Falcons. Okay win. They beat the Saints. Kirk Cousins did not look good, and that's what they're going to have to be rolling with for the remainder of the year. And the Falcons kind of get that win to somewhat stay in the NFC South race. But the Falcons are going to need to play better than that if they want any chance of winning some games down the stretch and potentially getting back into things. Number 21 are the Dolphins. Not much to say other than they were on bye, but they're going to have to come out of the bye swinging, and they have the schedule to do that. So Miami, you've seen them in the graphics. They're not out of it yet, but one loss will take them out of it. They're going to have to win out. Number 20, I have Carolina. Just a bad loss for them on Monday Night Football. You pick off Brock Purdy 3 times in the first half, and then you only score 3 points off of it, and then you only score 9 points the entire game. That's not winning football. That's not what we saw from Bryce Young against the Falcons the week before. And Carolina is going to need to get a win before the bye to at least gain some momentum for the stretch run where they do have a chance to win the NFC South. We're going to get to the Bucs in a minute, but the Panthers are going to need to win these games, and they just did not do that on Monday night. Their defense did their part. The offense did not. Number 19, I have Pittsburgh. No Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. They had Mason Rudolph, but just a game that you need to win if you want to make the playoffs. They've officially blown their AFC North lead to the Ravens. The Ravens now take the lead in the AFC North. And Pittsburgh's just going to need to win games. And it starts with Buffalo on Sunday. A big game for the wild card race and the AFC North race. Pittsburgh hopes to get Aaron Rodgers back. And if they don't, they're going to have to roll with Mason Rudolph in their biggest game of the year. Number 18, I said I was going to talk about Tampa Bay. They got destroyed by the Rams on Sunday night. Baker Mayfield got hurt. It seems like it won't be a long-term injury, but maybe he will be out this week. But the Bucs couldn't have come at a worse time for them because they need to win games. They have Carolina somewhat on their tail, even though Carolina did lose. But Tampa's going to need to start winning if they want to clean up the NFC South. And they were out of the game in the second quarter, and that's just not good football. And Tampa Bay, unfortunately, drops to 6-5. A team that I had at number 1 in my power rankings at once this season is now all the way down to 18. Number 17, I have Dallas. What a statement win for Jerry Jones, that entire Cowboys organization, just because of what Jerry Jones did at the deadline. The big move was Quinnen Williams. He's fit perfectly in his first 2 games there. The offense has been great. George Pickens' offseason move has almost emerged as the wide receiver 1 above CeeDee Lamb at this point, because CeeDee Lamb has drops and George Pickens putting up over 100 yards every game. And Dallas is doing their job right now. They've gotten back into the playoff race, and they proved it by beating one of the best teams in the NFC, and just a statement comeback victory for Dallas. Number 16, I have the Houston Texans, who pick up another big victory over Buffalo on Thursday night. Davis Mills is 3-0 as a starter, but huge credit to this Houston defense, just really shutting down Josh Allen when it mattered. And that's been the Texans' formula to win this season. They've jumped back. They started 0-3. They've been 6-2 since. And this Houston team is back into the playoff race and potentially back into the AFC South race, which is a 3-horse race at this point in time. And Houston really doing their job as of late. Number 15, I have the Chargers. They were on bye, but they're just going to need to get better O-line to win these last 2 or 3 games to get into the AFC playoffs. Number 14, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Not the prettiest game, but that's been the story of this Niners team the entire season. Not pretty, but they just win. And this team has 8 wins. They only really need to win 2 more games to get into the playoffs in the NFC. And that's just a credit to how good this Niners team is coached. Kyle Shanahan is doing an excellent job this year with multiple quarterbacks, multiple different starting receivers, losing starters on defense. This Niners team just continues to win, and they're this low because are they really going to win a playoff game? But that's what they need to prove over these last 5 games of their season. Number 13, people said that they were done, and for a majority of that game against the Colts, the Chiefs looked done. And Patrick Mahomes played like the season was on the line. It was playoff Mahomes in week 12, and we got an excellent duel between the Chiefs and the Colts, and the Chiefs come out on top with what many are saying is a season-saving win. Just what a defining moment for Patrick Mahomes in that entire Chiefs offense. Just the ability to break through when it mattered, and the defense's ability to shut down Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Jones, that entire offense when it mattered. That is playoff football, and that's what the Chiefs have been so good at for years, and they pick up the victory on Sunday. Number 12, Ravens. Not the prettiest one at all. They barely had any yardage. They had, I think, 71 in the first half and only 3 points to show for it. But the Ravens come out swinging early in the second half, pick up the victory, and officially have reclaimed the lead in the AFC North. Just a big win for Baltimore. And Baltimore is going to need to keep playing a bit better to hold off the Steelers. But Baltimore, definitely a good sign of things to come as they've won 5 in a row. Number 11, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were down late in that game. They come back. The Jaguars win it in overtime and are now only 1 game back in the AFC South. And Jacksonville is in a great position. They have their game against the Colts this week, where if they win, they take the division lead. And the Jaguars, they've been playing subpar football, but if they get complimentary football, which has shown in multiple games this season, this Jaguars team is definitely scarier than you would think. Number 10, I have the Buffalo Bills. Just another weird loss for them where Josh Allen was shut down. He didn't really do much, and as a result, they lose. And teams are starting to figure out Josh Allen. That's the problem, but the rushing attack in this game was great. They got a lot from different players, and the Bills played a good football game. They just got beat by a better defense, and Buffalo drops to 7-4. Number 9, I have the Detroit Lions. For most of that game, it looked like they were going to lose. Just not the greatest game, and Jahmyr Gibbs just carries them to the victory. First play of overtime, just running for a touchdown, and then Aiden Hutchinson gets the sack to close it out. And a fun game between the Lions and the Giants really just ends up with a Lions victory, which is what the Lions needed, and they go into this game against the team I have next on the power rankings, with it being big for divisional stakes, and that team is the Green Bay Packers, who defensively were just outstanding against the Vikings, just did not let J.J. McCarthy and that Vikings offense do anything at all, and the Packers pick up their 7th win of the season, their 2nd in a row, and as I just said with the Lions, big game for divisional stakes. The winner of this game is going to have a shot at the division title, and it's on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great game, and we'll see who comes out on top. Number 7, I have the Indianapolis Colts. They come out of their bye and lose to the Chiefs in a close game, but I liked what I saw out of them. It was playoff level football from the Chiefs, and the Colts were able to counter it for most of the game. The Colts defense was outstanding for the first 3 quarters of this game, just holding the Chiefs to field goals on multiple occasions. But just when it mattered, they couldn't get the stop. They couldn't get the score. And the Colts are going to be able to work on it, but the ability to just stick around and play solid football for most of that game, I'm not too concerned about the Colts. Number 6 is a team I am a little concerned about, is the Eagles. Offensively, they were outstanding in the first half and then terrible in the second half. And that's been the story of the last few weeks. They've had offensive inefficiency, and the defense has been there to save them. But this week, the defense was not there to save them. And that's the main problem with the Eagles right now, is they're not playing complementary football. They're not getting great football from all 3 phases. And the Eagles are going to need to do that in order to stick around with some of the heavy hitters in the NFC. Number 5, I have the Chicago Bears, a team that the Eagles play on Friday. And just the ability to win football games in any matter is just proof of how Ben Johnson has changed this Bears team. They had turnovers. They had plays where the defense just couldn't get a stop. But the Bears pick up the win once again, and something is different in Chicago. They're about to prove it on Friday. If they beat the Eagles, this Bears team is for real. Number 4, I have the Seattle Seahawks, who pick up another victory over the Tennessee Titans. They bounced back after that game against the Rams, and they were just really good. JSN has been the best receiver in football. He's on pace to break the record this year. Sam Darnold's been great, and the Seahawks need to keep winning to stick around with the Rams, who we'll get to in a little bit. But the Seahawks continue to look like one of the better teams in the NFC. Number 3, the New England Patriots. Drake May, another solid game. He had one bad pick, but the Patriots pick up their 10th win of the year and now sit 2.5 games above the Bills. It seems like the Patriots are going to take the AFC East this year, and if they keep winning games, they're going to get the 1 seed in the AFC as well, which is something that would have been crazy if you told an NFL fan at the start of the year. Just the Patriots find ways to win, and that's what good teams do. And the Patriots are sitting pretty right now at 10-2 with just a game against the Giants between them and their bye. Number 2, I had the Broncos. They were on bye. Not much to say about them other than their schedule is not so hard coming out of this bye. If they keep winning football games, they'll be in contention for that 1 seed in the AFC. And the number 1 team is the Los Angeles Rams, and they solidified that number 1 spot on Sunday night, destroying the Buccaneers. Matthew Stafford is the new MVP favorite for me at this point. That offense is just so efficient, and defensively, they're just insanely hard to score on. And this Rams team is the most complete Rams team we've seen since that 2021 Super Bowl team. And almost every NFL team should be scared of the Rams at this point in time. They look primed to win yet another Super Bowl. But that's going to do it for this Week 12 Power Rankings. Let me know if you disagree with any of my takes or placements in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.